I'm Jo Greene, and on this edition of MTA's Commuter Connections, we'll talk to MTA Administrator Ralign about his vision for transit in Maryland. We've also got a look at MTA's past in rail transportation, and we'll hook you up with employment information and answers to your customer concerns and questions. All ahead on MTA's Commuter Connections. Welcome to MTA's Commuter Connections. For this edition, we're on location at the B&O Railroad Museum, where rail history and a part of MTA's past is on display. MTA has come a long way in rail and bus travel from past to present, and it has a bright and exciting future ahead. The person charged with leading MTA and setting the pace for transit in Maryland joins with us today. He's MTA Administrator Ralign, and we welcome him again to MTA's Commuter Connections. Hi,
Hello.
Mr. Wells, how are you?
Great, I'm doing good.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
We are always excited to have you here because, after all, you set the pace, as we've already said.
It's great to be able to talk about our agency.
You know, the biggest thing that people don't realize is that you really are truly MTA. You embody everything there is to think about. I mean, you've had your career here from start to finish.
Started on the ground at the front lines as an operator and moved my way through on every step of the ladder. So it's been a pleasure.
You know what? To have that kind of experience and have that kind of depth of knowledge in an agency means that you really must have a future set out and a plan set out for this agency.
Yeah, we have a lot of good things in store for our citizens of Maryland, and we are on a relentless pursuit to be the nation's premier transit organization, and that's going to be through a lot of initiatives we have on the table already.
Now, you know, one of the things when you took the helm in 2009, there were a lot of economic challenges that were going on, and you were able to really, you know, rally the troops and get folks to follow behind you. What do you think it took to really get this agency on the right path?
You're right. It was a very tough time, and we still have some tough times ahead of us, but certainly we have been able to weather a lot of storms throughout that period, and we still are working hard to be as efficient as possible. Many other transit agencies have had to either cut service or raise fares in order to stay solvent. Fortunately, we've been able to look internally to find inefficiencies and become a more efficient organization, and we've done that.
Well, I think that's the thing. A lot of places, every time you turn on the news, they were raising their fares, they were cutting routes. People were angry. And it's amazing. You guys actually, the MTA bought on new things like the Charm Card, you know, ways to better, I guess, collect fares and revenues. So you're right, operational efficiency.
Yeah, we were able to find, over the last almost 4 years, we've been able to find over $35 million in savings through efficiency measures. And we've done some lean process management that would help all of our managers all the way down to the micro level become more efficient. And so we've been able to roll back a lot of opportunities, initiatives in order to continue to enhance the transit product.
Now, one of the things, you mentioned the benefits of transit. I want you to tell these folks out there, what are the real benefits of transit besides the fact that, you know, if there were less cars on the road, people would be able to get where they need to go?
Well, I'll start with that because you're right. I mean, there's an indirect benefit. I always say transit is one public service that benefits you whether you use it or not. That means if your neighbor is using it, then they're out from in front of you. We move over 400,000 trips per day. So that's 400,000 cars potentially that could be on the road. The roads wouldn't be very effective with those amounts of cars on the street. So certainly there's an indirect benefit. But then the direct benefit is that it's only $1.60 for a one-way trip.
Wait, $1.60?
$1.60.
Oh my gosh, we're cheaper than any other transit agency in the region. Wow.
Exactly. We've been able to keep our fares constant since 2003. Now I'm going to say at some point there's going to have to be a fare increase.
But for now, people need to...
But for now, we've been doing well at holding our own by looking internally before we have to do that. And $1.60 is one value, but the other benefit is that you can read, you can do your work on the way to work. And I do that. I have an opportunity to read and sign documents.
I've seen you on Metro.
Exactly.
I've seen you on Metro.
So that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, one of the things also that I find, which is refreshing, is that these aren't people who are transit dependent. A lot of folks who are riding our system, they're making the choice to ride public transit. A smart choice, I might add. It's not, you know, for a while there was this whole image that only certain people rode transit. Transit is for everybody.
Clearly.
You know, and it helps employers.
That's right. Yeah, a number of people have taken advantages. We've seen people who are the higher income brackets using our services now, whether it's the bus or the metro or light rail. They all are using the service because they all see the benefits to it.
Now, I want to go into an area that's recently come up in the news. You know, the MTA is always looking for ways to improve and increase their safety, and really just the quality of life issues on our transit system. In the news, they've been reported that MTA, we'd already been doing video recording,
Yes.
but we're now introducing the audio recording. Can you really touch on that issue? Because I know there's been a lot of public sentiment back and forth on both sides about this key issue.
Clearly, I mean, when we started the videos, we had that same sentiment. You know, there was an ambivalence from the community about whether this is a good thing because,
Right.
you know, we're watching and being intrusive. But the truth of the matter is these video technology and the audio technology helps us to solve a number of crimes that could occur and also deters crime because people know that when they're on our service, we have all the tools we need to help keep them safe. And if something should happen, we can investigate it and bring those to justice who commit any crimes
Correct.
on our service. So we are proud and happy that we have this technology available to us.
Well, I think the biggest thing is the fact that this isn't Big Brother watching.
Absolutely not.
This is a tool, yet a tool. We still have MTA police, correct?
That's correct. The police are moving throughout our system. And let me just clarify something. We're not watching. The only time that video is seen is when an incident occurs and our
I
police
see.
have to pull that segment to see what
It's very
may have happened.
targeted. It's not
Right, we
brand-
don't
yeah.
actually see it. It doesn't transmit anywhere. It's on a hard drive in a locked cabinet, and we have processes in order to pull that video when an incident should occur.
So essentially, the agency is following the letter of the law. We've consulted with all the legal
That's
scholars
correct.
and minds, and from executive leadership. Oh, that sounds
That's
great.
correct.
Well, you know what? It's good to always put that clarity out there and
Thank you
give
for
people the
raising it.
facts as opposed to the frenzy.
Exactly.
I guess the final thing is MTA has a lot of major projects. You know, everything from hybrid buses to the red line, the purple line. Oh my goodness, what's next?
Well, we have a number of things that we have in place, put in place to enhance the product. So clearly we have $5 billion worth of new starts programs.
That's billion with a B.
$5 billion. So we have the
Wow.
red line, the purple line, which is going to run in the Bethesda and New Carrollton areas through University of Maryland. We're
Okay.
responsible for that. A lot of people don't realize
Yeah,
that.
we're a
but
statewide
we're a
agency.
state
It's just not
agency,
Baltimore
right.
City.
And then we also have the Corridor Cities Transitway, which is in Montgomery County, that we are also responsible
Wow.
for bringing online.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to be our first bus rapid transit system.
That's amazing.
The red line will run from Woodlawn to Bayview campus, and that's going to help to bring all of our system together. You know, that's going to bring the metro and the light rail and the bus system.
An
along with
integrated
an
system.
Integrated system.
Well, thank you, Administrator
Thank you
Wells. It was
very
a
much.
pleasure having you. We have to
Appreciate
have
it.
you back again.
I'll take as much time as you give me.
Oh boy. Coming up next, a look at the B&O Railroad Museum, which has a little of MTA's past on display. That's next.